Hey, you guys, I wanted to show the relationship between the figure eight coil that I have that video that I made a while back on coiling up your rope with it's actually a figure eight lay. It's not really a coil. And I was thinking about it and I was going, there's a lot of similarities between the accordion and the figure eight. Because if you look at this accordion, if you overlap them, look at that. It's a bunch of eights. Interesting relationship, huh? It just pays right out. Look at that. It just pays right out without any resistance. And that's the whole point for storing a rope, putting away a rope. You don't want to store it all twisted up. And so that's why I made the video on the figure eight lay. When I was working on a sea urchin diving boat, we would lay our air hoses. We had 300-foot long, half-inch air hoses made by Keene, Keene. And some guys would use Gates hose. Nowadays, see, that was like 40 years ago. We'd lay our hose in a figure eight on the deck. We'd have a place on the deck just for our hose. Lay it out there, lay it in a figure eight. And I would make mine slightly overlap a little bit because the end I would use for diving out when I'd go out in the water, the 300-foot hose would be this end. And it would it would come off the pile just like that. But then I realized, if you look at it, it's almost an accordion lay. So the accordion lay and the figure eight are really similar. If you just lay these on top of each other, they're eights. Okay. And I also got a lot of people in my comments saying, show the one over, one under. I only like the one over, one under for certain applications. It works good for garden hose and things like that. And I have had more times where the one over, one under on a garden hose has kinked up on me when it pays out. I've had the best luck with the figure eight because if you look at the figure eight, it's basically an accordion lay. You're just, now it's an eight. But if you pull it out like that, it's an accordion lay. It seems like it pays out with less hang-ups, but I'll show you guys the one over, one under anyways. So we would lay our air hose that if space was constricted, because the figure eight system does take more room. So if space was, with confining, if you were in a confining area where you didn't have enough space, then yeah, you go one over. See, it's over the top of this one. See, one over. And then the next one you put under. So it's under this one. So the first one, it's just one over, and then you flip your hand and you go one under. One over, one under. One over, one under. And that also pays out pretty straight with no kinks. And I use the one over, one under on like really stiff rope, like this rope right here. This rope is really stiff. I call this fake rope. It's like cheap hardware store fake camping rope with a kern mantle sheath, a wannabe kern mantle sheath. And so you go one over, one under, one over, one under, one over, one under. But I just find that the figure eight, the reason why I like the figure eight better is the finish. Because when I'm doing a figure eight, you get that hourglass shape in the waist right there. So when I go to tie it up, it already naturally has a waist to get wrapped around. And then I throw my lark's head over the top and it locks it off like that. Right? But the one over, one under, when the rope is in a round coil, to me it doesn't seem like it takes as well. So what I do for that kind of a coil, it doesn't take as well for the wraparound and the lark's head, although you still can. What I do is a mountaineer's kind of a finish where you go, let's see, like this. Then put the rope underneath here. This rope is so stiff, it's hard to use. I hate this cheap hardware store rope. Super stiff polypropylene. Then you end up with a finish like that. It looks cool. It's pretty organized. It works good. I just find this one easier to deploy. You just pull off the lark's head, flip that over, boom, go like that. Lay it down, you got your figure eight, it's already ready to pay out. That's why I do it like that. Anyways, I'm going to talk about rope anatomy and physiology in my next video. It's coming up right now.